I'm Dr. Gina Page, president and co-founder of AfricanAncestry.com. This is my do-over. It's Tuesday, April 14th, and I am happy to be here with you all today. Welcome to our daily African Ancestry family conversation. It's our 15-20 minutes of conversation with an African Ancestry family member to hear about their experience tracing their DNA and finding their roots with African Ancestry. Welcome, everyone. As you know, we are the pioneers of genetic ancestry tracing for Black people around the world. We've been in the game 17 years. We have dedicated the past 17 years to helping Black people transform the way we view ourselves and the way we view Africa. This on the fly IG Live is really something else. We do that through DNA. And I just love talking to you all every day. I am well. Muy Bell, welcome. Thank you for checking in from Chicago. Where are the rest of you all? Welcome. Come on in. Hey, Ty. Shout out to Ty Brooks. She manages all of our IG and Facebook Live activity remotely. Terrence Washington, good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Love from Senegal. Nagadef, Senegal. How you doing? DC's in the house. Virginia, West Virginia, Detroit. Yes, I'm loving it. So happy to see all of you here. It's not easy to go live every day, but I find myself getting excited around 4:30, 4:45, because I know I'm going to see your familiar handles. And Brazil's in the house again. Nice to see you, Angelo. And Houston, namaste from New Jersey. I was really hyped yesterday because we launched our Don't Rush Challenge. If you all haven't seen it, please check it out. We had a lot of fun putting that together. Shout out to Christine St. Ville on our team for making that happen. Eddie Meeks, good to see you. Fit and Order in the house. All right. So our guest today is an African Ancestry family member. Oh, we got Ghana in the house. Harlem. Okay. London. This is exciting. And I hope you all are sharing these too so that more people can be exposed to the impact of the work that we're doing and the work that the people who take our test are doing. How about that? That's even more important. Yesterday we had Sangu Jakam on, and he shared the work that he does with young people and adults in helping them to heal through knowledge of ancestry and the arts. And so our next guest is no different. I'm going to pull him in. I know I'm mispronouncing his name. I'm going to call him Siphiwe, and we'll see how he really says it. So just send me a request to join so I can get you in here so we can talk to everybody. Volt is in here every day. Shout out to Volt. Hi, 9IM Demira. Hey, she jazzy. Oh, shucks, you jazzy? All right. So while we're waiting for him for us to coordinate this, I'd love to answer any questions. You'd love to be one of my guest solo finesse? Okay. Well, are you an African Ancestry family member? I'm pretty sure you are. Just need to DM us, and Ty can get you on the calendar. Yes, request to join, and then I will be able to pull you in to Atlanta Love Black. I love these names. No questions for me so far? What y'all want to know? Have I educated you well? We have 2 test kits. If you go to shop.africanancestry.com, you can read more about them. One test kit traces maternal ancestry. The other one traces paternal ancestry. All right. And you get to share with so many people in the family. So you only really need one test per family line to get your answers to find your tribe. Hey, there it is. We got it. Look at you looking all colorful. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Gina.
So pronounce your name so that I can make sure I'm saying it correctly.
Please. It's Siphiwe Baleka.
Siphiwe Baleka.
You got it.
All right, Siphiwe. So, welcome. You are another one of our very active African ancestry family members. The men have really been representing. Usually, it's hard to get men to come on and to participate, but you guys have been representing very strong. So, I'm happy to meet you face to face, virtually. And we're going to kick it off with our 3 words. So I'm going to give you 3 words, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind, okay?
Okay.
Africa.
Wonderful.
DNA.
Very important.
Identity.
Extremely important.
All right. Very important and extremely important. Those are true. Very, very true words. So tell us, first of all, where are you? You got on a hat. You look kind of a turtleneck. You look like you're in a cold weather location.
I'm at home in Springfield, Missouri. It's about 45 degrees here in Springfield, and I didn't turn the heat on, so it's still kind of cool in our house. And I'm wearing we have Balanta fashion, so this is one of our pullovers. This is our cap with our flag.
I love it. I love it. So I don't need to ask what your results are. You're wearing your results on your chest and on your head. I love that. So tell us, how did you come to be a part of the African Ancestry family? What was your path to African Ancestry?
Well, I had something of an identity crisis when I was at Yale University in the early 90s. At that time, I was trying to become the first African American on the U.S. Olympic swim team. And so I spent all of my time with the swim team, which is mostly white people. Meanwhile, I was studying philosophy, and I was pretty much the only Black student in the philosophy department. So I was in all of those classes. So I spent all my time doing this. And on the one hand, the Black students at Yale, they never saw me at the Afro-Am house. I wasn't sitting at the dining room table with them because I had to eat at certain times. So I had this identity thing where my white friends thought I was the most militant Black person they'd ever met. And the Black students thought I was like the biggest Oreo cookie sellout that they'd ever met. So I had something of this identity crisis. I actually left school and went and traveled around the world trying to find myself. And like a lot of us, we go through different conscious communities, and we appropriate identities. Sometimes they're spiritual or religious identities. Sometimes they're political identities. I mean, I did all that. I went through Black nationalist camps. I went through, everything from, I was a devout Rastafarian, Hebrew Israelite, Aser Aset. I was mentored by Black Panthers. I spent time with Move. I mean, you name it. I was kind of on this search to really find out who I was, especially because, Marcus Garvey had said that if you get an advanced education, if you're going to be of use to the race, you have to undergo a racial re-education. And I took that very seriously. And trying to find that authentic identity that I just wasn't finding anywhere. And finally, in September of 2010, I had heard about your company. I took both the paternal and maternal test, was 100% Balanta on my paternal side, and I was 99.7% Yoruba on my maternal side. And that changed everything.
What do you think clicked? Why do you think that clicked? Because one could see where this was just another leg in your journey of searching, just more information that you could. So what made this one click and stick for you?
That's a great question. And on the one hand, it is just another leg on that journey but the thing about it is I learned about genetic science, and it was not something fictitious. This was real, and I wasn't making this up, and I wasn't appropriating it. It literally lived inside of me. And then the more I started to study about traditional African spirituality, and what they call ancestor worship, okay, I like to call it ancestor science. Being a philosophy and physics major from Yale, I kind of had this background where I wanted to go deeply into the connection between what we actually inherit in our DNA and how that plays out in terms of epigenetics, neuroplasticity, and ultimately our behavior. And the more I got into that, the more I realized how central to traditional African ontology the actual lineage is. And I wasn't making this up. This was something that confirmed a lot of my experiences.
Wow. So you find out that you share ancestry with the Yoruba on your maternal line and the Balanta on your paternal line. And I know that you've done many different things. So can you share with us maybe one thing that you've done that you'd put near the top of the list in terms of its impact, maybe for you or for others? I don't know.
I think the most important thing has been, like all the African Ancestry family, as soon as you find out your results, we try to find out information. We want to find out as much as we can about our ancestors, who we come from. And I was raised by my father. It was just my father. My mom had left, so I have a real close connection with my father. So I gravitated towards my paternal side more than anything. Mm-hmm. And I came to find out that there's not a lot of information about Balanta. One of the reasons is because they never had chiefs, they never had leaders, they never had kings. And as a result, Western scholarship didn't find them worthy of study. Western scholarship thinks that if you develop state structures, you're somehow more sophisticated, more civilized. So Balanta was left out of a lot of history. And so I had to dig really deep to find a lot of information on Balanta. And I realized not only did we have a unique structure of how the culture was structured, and we have a unique contribution, I realized that my sons, who are also Balanta, you know, by virtue of the paternity, I didn't want them to have to collect the 3,000 books and articles that I had to go through, which was a lot of time and a lot of expense and a lot of reading. I realized there was no reference book on their paternal ancestry written for them. And so I decided I was going to write that history book. Not only the history of the Balanta people, but then retell world history from the viewpoint of Balanta people. And so I was able to, that effort turned into 3 volumes that I was able to publish in 2019. I wrote it for my sons, but then I wrote it for everyone who has Balanta ancestry.
And so how can people purchase your volumes?
They can go to, we set up a history and genealogy website for Balanta people. And so they can go to, it's really easy. It's www.balanta.org. It's just balanta.org. We have educational materials there. One of our brothers, Biafra Sansu Chichimna, he's got language videos. We have a language basic book. We have my books. We have a lot of information. And we're just trying to gather and organize the Balanta people so that we can, you know, one of my goals my heroes were the scholar activists, people like Walter Rodney and Ken Saro-Wiwa from Nigeria, even Mumia Abu-Jamal, right? People that used their scholarship, it led them to activism. And so my goal was, how do I take this knowledge that I got from African ancestry, finding out who I am, how do I take all this knowledge and use it to develop Balanta people both in America and at home in Guinea-Bissau? So the books and the education is just one aspect of the development work that we're trying to do.
That's incredible. You know, we already know through our experience here that if you don't tell your story, then someone else is going to tell it, and inevitably they're going to tell it the wrong way. They're going to tell it the way they want it to be told,
yes.
Not necessarily the way it was. So I commend you for digging deep. I mean, 3,000 books and articles and reference
yes.
sources. That's I don't. You just made me tired saying those words. That's a lot of impressive work, and so I commend you for investing that time and then sharing it, because that is the point. The point is not for African Ancestry to tell you everything you need to know, but for African Ancestry to be the catalyst and to be a support mechanism for you to go and explore, and you epitomize having done that.
Thank you. You know, one of the things that was really helpful was I had to go and collect the Portuguese travel accounts. When the Portuguese came to the west coast of Africa, and particularly Guinea-Bissau, you know, they had royal chroniclers. They actually have eyewitness accounts of what they saw and what they did. A lot of us aren't exposed to that because we speak English, and these records are in Portuguese. So I had to go and get those and get the English translations and read them, and really focus and pinpoint when they mentioned a certain kind of river. Then go and reference the ancient maps, because the names they're always changing. And then find, okay, that river that they're referencing is this river today, which is in this part of Guinea-Bissau, which is where Balanta were living. And then I could read what they wrote, and that's how I started learning, oh, okay, this is what our society was like in the 1400s, in the 1500s, in the 1600s. What I wanted to do was gather all of that and put it into one reference work for Balanta people.
Wow. So have you traveled to Guinea-Bissau?
Yes. I was able to return to my ancestral homeland, which is called Nacra. Okay, they didn't call it Guinea-Bissau because it wasn't a country back then. I was the first in my family after 250 years. As a result of my African Ancestry test, I got into genealogy. I was able to trace my paternal ancestry back to my 5th generation great-grandfather and understand how he was captured as a boy, put on the slave ship, and brought to Charleston, South Carolina. And then I know the story of everyone since. And so this January, I returned to Nacra, met with the, it was fantastic. The elders from the north, south, east, and west, they had all come together to receive me. It was the first time they had gathered like this in 15 years. And I was somewhat known in the country because of my athletic background. And in October of 2019, I had competed in an international swimming contest, won 6 gold medals, and on the award stand, I flew a Guinea-Bissau flag that said Balanta, and that went viral in Guinea-Bissau, and I became something of a hero, because all you ever heard about in Guinea-Bissau was the problems, either the corrupt government or the drug trafficking. And then all of a sudden, here was this black guy from America who was proud of his Balanta Guinea-Bissau heritage, representing on the international sports stage. So when I came to the country, they received me. I mean, I was able to do TV interviews and radio interviews. I was able to meet with government officials. And again, the Balanta community, they all came together to receive me. And as a result of that, we worked together to create a, you know, decade of return program similar to what you see in Ghana and Sierra Leone and Nigeria and these other places. And so that's the other, I think, really important work was being able to set up structures so that we can transfer wealth from here, from America, to our Balanta community in Guinea-Bissau.
You are, if you just joining us, I'm Gina Page, president and co-founder of African Ancestry.com, and I'm here with Siphiwe.
Siphiwe.
Siphiwe. I'm gonna get it. Siphiwe
Baleka.
Baleka. Yes. Siphiwe. Siphiwe Baleka. And this story is amazing, okay? From Yale swim team to international travel to researching over 3,000 tomes of work to publishing a 3-volume historical account of the Balanta people of Guinea-Bissau to winning gold medals in international swim competitions and representing Guinea-Bissau to traveling to the land. Look, it's going to take me another 20 minutes to list these accomplishments. This is absolutely incredible. I want to point out one thing based on what you said, that taking this test, this African Ancestry Petroclan test, which traced you to the Balanta people, inspired you to do genealogy. So people do lots of different things. Some people are genealogists. They do their family research, get back as far as they can until they hit a brick wall, and then pursue their African ancestry. Others, like you, pursue their African ancestry, and then that's a catalyst for saying, okay, well, this is where we started, so to speak, at this time period. How did we get to the U.S. from here? And that's not easy work. So I want to commend you also on that you were able to get to your 5th great grandfather through genealogy. That's just mind blowing. You definitely, we have a thing in our office where when someone does something incredible or goes above and beyond, they get the gold star. So we pass around this gold star. I'm giving you the gold star, Siphiwe, for just your intensity in this relentless pursuit of your identity.
Yeah, relentless is a good word. I mean, especially from, I'd say, I got my test in 2010, but things happened where in 2018, it really became the overriding passion in my life. And I was in a situation where I could work from home. I had both the time resources and the financial resources to work on this like full time, 8 hours a day. And it was one of those things where I woke up every morning hungry. There wasn't enough time in the day to read all the books and do all, and finish. And I would wake up every day. And it wasn't a burden. It wasn't a chore. It was an organic sort of unveiling. It almost like the ancestors would just give me a download every day, and all I had to do was unzip it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just, listen, it sounds like we need to have a Balanta edition tie of this, because we could be on here all day with you, Siphiwe, learning. But I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being a part of the African Ancestry family. I want to thank you for all of the work that you've done and continue to do in the spirit of the ancestors, in order to lift them up and let everyone else who descends from them know about from where they come. And I hope that you and your family continue to be healthy and safe during these times. It seems like now you got another download of time to to work on more research because none of us can go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I definitely thank you for being you and for your, again, you really have given us a great example of passion.
Well,
When
I
you
want to
wake up
thank,
in the morning and that's
yeah.
all you can think about and you're excited to think. I mean, I wake up in the morning thinking about some stuff that's not that exciting. So when you can wake up and be excited and can't wait to open another piece of information, another book, another report, whatever it is, you truly are living in your passion. And so,
well, I want to give you one more. I want to thank you. I want to give you one more piece of information.
Okay, I'll take it.
Which is this. So, back in 1992, I had an opportunity to become the first African American swimmer on the U.S. Olympic swim team, but it didn't happen, and I missed by 0.8 of a second. Okay, now I still swim and I still compete now. While I was in Guinea-Bissau, I met with the Minister of Sport, and we got to talking, and we came up with this idea, and we agreed upon this. Guinea-Bissau is going to give me citizenship so that I can compete for Guinea-Bissau in the 2020, which is now 2021 Olympics in Tokyo. So as far as I know, I will be the first African American to use their African ancestry results to get citizenship to compete in the Olympics for their ancestral country.
Wow.
So I want to thank you for, today's my birthday. I'm 49 years old today.
Happy birthday. Woo!
Thank
Let's
you.
get some birthday hearts for Siphiwe's birthday. Good. You just keep bringing it. You just keep bringing it. Now you're going to the Olympics and it's your birthday. Come on now. This is incredible.
Okay, I know, right? But
wow.
So this has kept my childhood Olympic dream alive. Now, I'm not going to win any medals. I can't compete with the best swimmers in the world in terms of getting a medal. But I can exhibit the Olympic spirit by not giving up on my dream and doing my best. And so one of the things that I've sort of gifted to Guinea-Bissau is this Olympic theme, which is I couldn't make my dreams happen in America, but I can make them happen in Guinea-Bissau. So I just wanted to let you know that as a result of your science, your test, that it is having this impact, and that I'm using it in this way. And my goal is to get other African American athletes tested, and return to their ancestral communities and help them build the sports industries there. So
how can people support you in your Olympic efforts? Because I know that going to the Olympics is not an easy thing. So how can people, is there information about that or at balanta.org, or do you have a page of your own?
Once it is all finalized, once the citizenship is official, and once the International Olympic Committee has approved my registration, at that point, I will definitely be announcing to my African Ancestry family saying, hey, it's official, and I'll probably set up some help, because the country doesn't have, they're the fourth poorest country in Africa. They really don't have any money to support my effort, so I'm going to have to fund it myself. So I will definitely let you know once everything is a go, and hopefully we will, we can all work together, and it'll be the pride of African ancestry and the country of Guinea-Bissau.
I hear that. Listen, you have gotten so many, I hope you've been seeing these as they've scrolled, or you go back and watch this. You've gotten so much support and so much love from the people watching this. Everyone. I don't think there's one person who was not inspired by what you shared just in 20 minutes with us. So thank you again for being with us, and definitely keeping us abreast of the developments on this this journey to the Olympics to represent Guinea-Bissau. Listen, that has nothing on the Jamaican bobsled team. You know, I mean, this has nothing on the, or what should I say? The Jamaican bobsled team can't even touch this. You have taken this Olympic journey to a whole nother level, and I know that the African Ancestry community will be behind you. Yes, the Unapologetic Hustle said you got first place in my book and gave you some medals. I agree. So listen, last night I didn't know what to say at the end of the broadcast. I don't know what to say at the end of this broadcast. So I'll just end it by saying thank you, Siphiwe. Thank you, Siphiwe, for joining us and for gracing us with the knowledge that you dropped all throughout this time. I encourage everyone to stay safe, to please follow the laws of the land where you live, follow the directions that you're given so that we can get through to the other side of this thing. And we'll be back here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern to talk to another amazing, you set the bar really high. The bar just keeps inching up. It was already high to start with, and you just inched it up even farther.
Look, this African Ancestry community is the vanguard when it comes to consciousness of the people in the United States. So many people in the group are providing so much valuable information, new contributions. So I thank you, Gina, for building all of this and the work that you do, and for helping build what I call the Ancestry movement, which is a very historic movement. So I feel honored to be a part of the community with so many brothers and sisters that have just as much or more passion and are doing their work too.
Well, thank you. It is the honor of our entire team to lead this movement, and we'll continue to do that work. As I leave you all, have a very good evening. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be whole. Take care.